Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on
3 minutes, okay? Good deal.
when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have faith, you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend.
Good morning. My name is Patrick Mattern. I'm the Vice President for Business Development at Calgary Economic Development. Welcome to everyone attending here at Platform Calgary, as well as those attending online via Zoom. Today is another exciting day in the development of Calgary's technology ecosystem. It was only 24 hours ago that Amazon Web Services announced the creation of an AWS region in the city. Shortly, we'll hear from our newest partner, who will be helping us build and strengthen Calgary and Alberta's startup community. Before reviewing our agenda for today's event, we'd like to take the opportunity to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. The nations of the Treaty 7 region are the Siksika, Piikani, Kainai First Nations, who all together form the Blackfoot Confederacy. The Chiniki, the Bearspaw, and the Wesley First Nations, together forming the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, and Tsuut'ina First Nation. The City of Calgary is honored as the homeland of the historic Northwest Métis and the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. We acknowledge all Indigenous urban Calgarians who have made Calgary their home. As a reminder to the journalists joining us online, if you have a question for one of our speakers, please submit it through the chat function online. Today, Calgary takes another step forward in the progression as a diversified, technology-driven city. Today, we welcome the arrival of the world's preeminent global business accelerator, Plug and Play. For this announcement, we're pleased to have with us Saeed Amidi, the founder and CEO of Plug and Play, Doug Schweitzer, Alberta's Minister of Jobs, Economy and Innovation, Mark Blackwell, the Executive of the Opportunity Calgary Investment Fund, Laura Kilcrease, the CEO of Alberta Innovates, and Terry Rock, the President and CEO of Platform Calgary. Our first speaker this morning is a great champion of Alberta entrepreneurs and all the business people in this province who are coming up with the game-changing ideas that will drive our economy forward. The Minister of Jobs, Economy, Innovation, the MLA for Calgary Elbow, Doug Schweitzer. Please join us on the stand.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today to chat a little bit about the growth of our tech sector in Alberta and this amazing new investment and collaboration between all three levels of government to make this happen, and also in partnership with Platform Calgary. We have OCIF here, Alberta Innovates, and a global accelerator with relationships around the world, Plug and Play. We've had the opportunity to have some discussions here over the last few days with the team at Plug and Play. And I can't say enough about what this is going to do for the acceleration and growth of Alberta's emerging and maturing technology sector. It wasn't that long ago, if you just turn back the clock to 2018, we had about 1,200 tech companies in Alberta. You fast forward to 2020, and we have over 3,000 tech companies in our province. Many of them, in that scaling and growing and hiring phase where they're getting from 20 employees one year to 100 the next to 300 the year after. And we're even having companies get to that unicorn status here recently with Benevity. And there's a whole cohort right now that are on the cusp of getting to that unicorn status right here, homegrown in the province of Alberta. So not only do we have this emerging and maturing and scaling marketplace right here in our province that's homegrown, but we're also now getting on the map when it comes to major international. So just yesterday with the announcement of Amazon Web Services establishing Calgary as a hub for a major data center here for our province, that's another kind of indication of the growth. But they're not alone. We've had Infosys, you have the RBC Innovation Hub coming here as well, plus mCloud putting their office here into the city of Calgary. So Alberta is on the map. And when you go out there and you talk to private equity, venture capital firms from across Canada and into the United States now, they know that Alberta is a place that you need to start paying attention to. You need to start traveling to. You need to start seeing what that deal flow is on the ground here in our province. So it's quite encouraging to see the maturity that is happening right now. And it really, truly is to the credit of so many people that are in the room here today. I've had the opportunity to be in this role for about a year and a half. I was a lawyer by training, and I was so impressed with the entrepreneurs that are in this space now in our province. And when I think back to the beginning of my career in the mid-2000s, a lot of those young entrepreneurs would have been starting up an oil and gas company or an oilfield service company. But we still have that determined entrepreneurial spirit in the province of Alberta. But many of those young entrepreneurs now are starting up technology companies, whether it's fintech or agricultural technology companies, clean tech. It's amazing to see their determination, their sophistication, and just their ability to scale and grow and create opportunities for their generation and the next generation to come in the province of Alberta. So that's really encouraging. I just want to highlight as well, so when we saw this, we put in place our Innovation Capital Working Group in the summer of 2020 to give us advice as a government. What should we do? And we've pretty much implemented now, with this announcement here, pretty much all of the recommendations that came forward from that group. So we put an additional $175 million in the Alberta Enterprise Corporation for venture capital growth. We put in place the Innovation Employment Grant to help with R&D at the early stages for companies, as well as with this investment here in partnership with three levels of government, $35 million for this accelerator push. We had the involvement from the City of Edmonton with Innovate Edmonton. We've got OCIF here as well. So this is an opportunity for the acceleration of innovation and technology companies in every corner of Alberta. I'm looking forward to seeing the accomplishments of what this is going to lead to. You're going to hear a little bit more about Plug and Play. I'm not going to steal their thunder. It's an amazing organization that we're partnering with here to help accelerate in companies and give them, again, access to venture capital and access around the world when it comes to customers, and that mentorship and proven track record of success. So thank you to everybody that's been involved in making this a reality here today. It's encouraging to see where this industry is growing in our province. And again, I just think it's another indication that Alberta is on the rebound and has a very bright future ahead. So thank you so much to everybody, and I'll look forward to being a part of this here today.
Thank you very much, Minister Schweitzer. I should also add to those who are viewing online, protocol has us demasking and sanitizing just off stage here. So trust us, we're following the rules. I'd like to now call upon Executive Chair of the Opportunity Calgary Investment Fund, Mark Blackwell. Mark will offer insights into the key role that OCIF plays in supporting Calgary's ecosystem and the value that business accelerators, such as Plug and Play, bring to our community. Mark?
Thanks so much, Patrick. On behalf of the entire OCIF Board of Directors, I'm extremely excited today to announce our $7 million investment into Plug and Play Alberta to help significantly increase as they expand their footprint in Calgary with their new headquarters. Our mandate at OCIF is to work closely with industry, academia, and the great citizens of the city to catalyze initiatives like Plug and Play that will provide a strong foundation and scaffolding required to address the key challenges as we move Calgary into the new economy. A number of months ago, OCIF embarked on an ambitious RFP process alongside our great colleagues at Alberta Innovates and PrairieScan. Our goal was to come together to support a cluster of both local-based organizations and the best-in-class international incubators and accelerators. We want them here to assist in providing all the key ingredients we know that are required to help support a local-based technology and innovation ecosystem. I want to give a heartfelt thank you to Laura Kilcrease, Rowley, the entire team at Alberta Innovates, Doug Schweitzer, and the entire team at PrairieScan for your hard work and creativity in getting us here today. This is an outcome that will have lasting impacts on the city of Calgary. Quite frankly, we're too small of a city, too small of a province for us to go alone, and we have to do this to attract the best in the world to Calgary and Alberta. The process has shown the power of collaboration and demonstrates the full stack approach that's required to attract organizations like Plug and Play to our province. I'd also like to thank Terry and the entire team at Platform Calgary for being fantastic hosts today and for their bold vision of creating a central hub for everything innovation and technology in this city. So what is the significance of this investment today? Well, I can speak from firsthand experience about the role that Plug and Play had on my life as a first-time entrepreneur back in 2014. It'll give you a sense of why I'm so excited about the great impact that this organization will have on so many local-based organizations. In 2015, I packed my bags and moved to Silicon Valley a year after starting my business in Southeast Calgary. After landing in Sunnyvale, California, and bunking up in a hacker house with 17 individuals, I rode my bike every day to Plug and Play for 13 months. And each day when I arrived, I was both overwhelmed and filled with an immense energy to be working alongside 300 plus startups. There, I was surrounded by an amazing network of mentors, corporate partners, and venture capitalists. They were all there to connect the dots and provide the critical advice needed to help scale a small 3-person team, bootstrap the company to an exit. I will forever be grateful for Saeed and the team at Plug and Play for the opportunity to work out of the Technology Center in Sunnyvale, California, and this investment today will provide that exact same experience to local-based organizations that I had 6 years ago. With more than 35 locations around the world, Plug and Play will offer startups and businesses in Calgary an extremely unique opportunity to tap into one of the largest corporate networks of any accelerator and incubator in the world, with deep-rooted connections in agriculture, energy, supply chain, healthcare, all aligned to the core competencies and focus of our local economy. A network of mentors and advisors across a vast array of disciplines between marketing and sales, recruiting, human resources, and fundraising. And alongside the network of venture capital funds that Plug and Play exposes its companies to, the organization also has an in-house fund that backs some of the best and brightest that walk through their doors. They have an extremely strong track record of backing such companies as Dropbox, Honey, Lending Club, and PayPal, and we're looking forward to adding to that roster with some of our great homegrown companies here in Calgary. We are welcoming an organization that is excited about Calgary just as much as we are. And they are willing, in fact, and already are rolling up their sleeves and working with a cluster of local-based organizations to help achieve our long-term goal of 1,000 tech companies in this great city. I want to thank Saeed, his entire team here today at Plug and Play for their continued commitment to Calgary, and we look forward to working together as partners as we move the needle here in this province. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. 17 people in the house. I know you have a bicycle. There's no parking, right? That's obvious. Yeah. I'd now like to call upon Executive Chair, I would now like to call upon Saeed Amidi, the founder and CEO of Plug and Play, to say a few words about their decision to come to Calgary and Alberta and what exciting things they have in store for the province. Before Saeed speaks, we'll show a brief video that gives you a sense of what Plug and Play is all about.
Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I must say I've been here close to 24 hours, and the energy and the excitement and the people that I have met, it's second to none. Before I tell you a little bit about Plug and Play, in the beginning, before coming here, we were a little bit scared that are we going to find enough talented people, enough startups here that we could connect them to the world and build great companies. And in this 24 hours, I noticed the capability of University of Calgary, other universities in the area, and what they are already doing. Like, I think there is 73 startups in the bio hub in Calgary University, and we would like to embrace what they are doing and add some connection, perhaps some money, and take some of these technologies and companies global. Our journey in Plug and Play started in this building, which I actually started my business in that building in a 300 square foot office 42 years ago. And my next door neighbor was Pierluigi Zappacosta that brought Logitech from Geneva to Palo Alto, took it public, and he's still one of my best friends after 42 years. Then when we purchased the building, we had Peter Thiel of PayPal come to the building, and during the negotiating the lease, my brother agreed to invest in his company, and that turned out okay. Then Google arrived in the building when they were 3 people, Larry, Sergey, and Salar, and we saw the company grow to what it is today. The gentleman in the front row who is holding a phone, his name is Omid Kordestani, and I think they credit him for being the business founder of Google, and he built the company from 0 to $20 billion revenue, faster than anybody in the world. And he happens to be my best friend for the last 30 years. So I had the really insight to see the challenges, the opportunities of how Google grew. And again, I don't know how many of you know Danger, but the gentleman Andy Rubin, who did Android, did Danger. And in my opinion, it was the first smartphone after BlackBerry. It was called, it would flip open and you would browse the web and download application which, Apple and Android to take it to new heights. There is great talent and great entrepreneurs anywhere in the world, like Mark, who we just saw speak. But we feel if you give them a little bit more push, little bit more access to funding and connection, the company can grow incredibly faster, better, and take over the world. Plug and Play does three things quite well. We run a lot of accelerators in digital health that we're going to do here, in ag tech. But in Calgary, we will do clean resources, digital health, as well as what we call general accelerator for AI. Then we believe we have the largest corporate network in the world, roughly 540 of them, which includes Walmart, Cargill, Mercedes, Ford, McDonald's, Pepsi, Coke, a lot of banks like TD Bank and Sun Life Insurance from Canada, that they look at us for their digital transformation journey. But realistically, it's not Plug and Play. It's our startups that are our product that help major banks around the world or major insurance company transform themselves. And then finally, we do about 200 investments a year, and then we pray a lot. So they turn out to be like Dropbox or Google or Lending Club. Then I am a little bit, you could say, optimistic and crazy. After doing this in Silicon Valley for about 10 years, we decided to take this global. So nowadays we open about one office per quarter. So I'm really, really excited for this office in Calgary. And we are planning to accelerate about 80 startups per year here. And I always say you have to have a metrics of success. We will say 40 of those 80 startups will get additional funding, and they will have clients through our corporate partners. And let's say in the health tech region, we have about 40 pharma companies and hospital groups as clients. Frankly speaking, they pay us, like Roche pays us $1 million a year to connect them to diagnostic technology around the world. So we have to perform, so we're going to show them a lot of great startups from Calgary. The real reason we do this is our startups. And, we had 9 new unicorn. I'm pleased to say at least 2 of them were Canadian. One was Trulio out of Vancouver. In fact, the founder had a similar journey to Mark. He spent, I think, about a year with us in the Canadian pavilion in Plug and Play. And then Apply Board, which just became, I think, worth $3 billion. The most important thing about all of these startups, Garden Health is now worth about $16 billion, is that we were the first check when the startup was 2 people and an idea. And that is good for us because it's a lower valuation, but also is good for the entrepreneurs because then we will connect them to other VCs, other clients to grow their business. And I am really proud of our supply chain and logistic vertical to be so great that Walmart, which spends $45 billion a year on shipping, asked us to open an office in Bentonville, Northwest Arkansas. And they manage 10,000 trucks themselves. And two of our startups, Project 44 and Platform Science, made their logistic routing 5% more efficient. You know, that 5% more efficiency is good for Walmart, it's good for environment, and it produces great return. We do this with ExxonMobil, with Synchrony, and Mercedes. And again, we love to invite the corporate people in Calgary and in Edmonton to join us and use the technology from startups to accelerate their digital transformation. And we do this in many, many disciplines. As I mentioned, we're going to start with digital health and clean resources and an AI accelerator. But while I was here, I realized that we must do an ag tech vertical here and a fintech vertical here, which we will probably launch within less than a year of having our feet on the ground here. And then hopefully the rest of the verticals we run, we could evaluate one by one to see if they have a present here. Generally, we pride ourselves of Coke, Colgate, Nike to look at us for their technology. This is our brand and retail. They specify like path to purchase, last mile delivery, the sort of the different experience people expect in a retail store. And our startups wow them and show them incredible technologies that could make their product and services easier accessible to the consumer. Because today's consumer expect more. And we want to be the bridge between Calgary, Edmonton, and Silicon Valley to connect the dots. So if there is a company like Trulio, that way they can get additional funding, additional customer, and build their dream around the world. And you know, we do this in many ways, which is the cohort of startups, about 15 to 20 per semester or per 6 months. But we also do a lot of direct deal flows. Let's say that if City of Calgary, I'm meeting the mayor, would love to do some incredible digital transformation, we would ask them what are their interest area. It could be sustainability, could be traffic control, could be something to do with the building being more environmentally friendly. So we will bring the right technology and right startup to the city to do that for them through these deal flows. But also the health, 4.4 million people in the health group of Alberta, it is an incredible database that if we utilize the connectivity with that database, we could make Calgary and Alberta the center of innovation for digital health, remote health, and it really could create magic and have a few companies like Garden Health here in our backyard. Again, I cannot tell you how excited we are. You know, I always say, you know, when I'm at the place, I give it 100%. But I could say from everybody that I met here, I test them a little. I tell them, do you want to move to California? And 9 out of the 10 said, no way, I love Calgary. So that's why now we have to come to Calgary and really build an incredible innovation platform, embracing what is happening here with platform Calgary with all of the stakeholders here, and hopefully joining the efforts will make a much, much bigger impact in our world and in the economic development of Calgary. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Syed. What an incredible story, what incredible history, and an incredible company. It's testament to what's happening here in Alberta, Calgary, and Edmonton. If someone can expand their operation within 24 hours to now endorse agri-tech and fintech, that's pretty fantastic, and we appreciate your coming. Today's announcement is aligned with a broader funding initiative that came together earlier this year and involves the federal, provincial, and municipal governments supporting investment in the innovation economy. The consortium is led by Alberta Innovates, and our next speaker is their CEO, Laura Kilcrease.
So much. Well, what an act to follow after my prior speakers. Syed seems so calm, and I've got to tell you, I'm not. I'm so incredibly excited. I'm excited because today, Alberta Innovates, like every day, we are always looking to the future. And this is the future you're seeing today. What happens with Plug and Play and the other accelerators that we've brought to the province will actually shape Alberta and Canada's future. Not a future just here, but a future of where we stand on the world stage. We want Albertans to be successful, and we want you to be successful at home. And to be able to do that, we need those companies to scale up more and grow faster. They will make a tremendous impact on our economy. So what are we missing? We're missing what we call the missing middle. We need to bridge so that more companies can get valuations that grow over 100 million. That's not too difficult. And if I may borrow from Syed, also grow to that billion-dollar-plus unicorn as soon as possible. So, with the help of Minister Schweitzer, Mrs. Schweitzer, thank you for procuring the funds for us. We launched our Scale Up and Growth Accelerator program in March. And we want Albertans to know that this will be a destination for innovation, for entrepreneurship, and a recognized place that's going to attract businesses from wherever they may be in the world. Our overall objective for the Scale and Growth Accelerator program is to increase the entrepreneurial scale-up capacity and knowledge in Alberta, to establish a critical mass of new ventures in specialized technology sectors, to increase the number of new junior tech startups that start to go. People know it's possible to do this here, to create Alberta jobs, increase revenue from those tech companies, and to attract that follow-on investment. Because let's face it, guys, it's only the smart people that will be putting their money here. They're going to, wherever they come from the world. You know, Plug and Play was one of the 4 successful accelerators selected from our RFP that we issued in March. And they went through some tremendous due diligence. And although they're so tremendously successful today, I want you to know that as they do due diligence on their companies, we did it on them. And they've passed with flying colors. In fact, we were so excited when we saw the level of capability, the knowledge, the companies they're connected with. It was just so fantastic. And their very unique business model will connect our best startups with their best partners around the world. That network of 540 corporate partners is not to be missed. I'm going to say it again, 540 large corporate partners. Boy, do they have checkbooks that want to buy what you have, and they want to buy it soon. So we're happy to have the power of their networks to work with Albertans and the innovation system as a whole. To do this, no one does these things on their own, and we brought together a consortium of funding partners at the municipal, provincial, and federal levels to bring Plug and Play to Alberta. I want to sincerely say my thanks and my appreciation to all of those who worked from the Government of Alberta. Minister Schweitzer, thank you again. The Prairies Economic Development Canada, Justin Reamer. to Opportunity Calgary Investment Fund, Mark Blackwell, and to Innovate Edmonton, Catherine Warren. All of these people led teams that worked on this process, and it was a hard process. So 35 million is just the table stakes going into these operations today, but the return you're going to see over the next 3 to 5 years is going to be tremendous. I want to recognize all of those funding partners because together we work in unison to be stronger than anyone else in the world. So we see the potential that exists here in Alberta. We see this investment in our new future. We're here to grow, to stay, to attract other companies. And this investment in these accelerators will help transform our innovation ecosystem to make Alberta the destination in the future people want to come to. I'd finally like to add that there's two very fundamental parts of this program. It's not just the front end of the funding, it's the fellowship that comes afterwards. And all companies that go through these programs will be formed into a fellowship of serial entrepreneurs that will go forward and help the next generations. Finally, my last words to you is, while it's fund and fellowship, it's also old partners working together with our new friends at Plug and Play. I thank you all so much.
Thank you very much, Laura. Platform Calgary is quickly becoming the center of our city's tech and innovation ecosystem. Our host today, Platform Calgary, is led by Dr. Terry Rock, their president and CEO. Please, Terry, join us on the stand.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Minister Schweitzer, for being here. Laura, Saeed, thank you so much. Mark with OCIF. Welcome to Calgary's Home for Innovators. We're so excited to be in the final stages of opening the Platform Innovation Center. Innovation in Calgary, innovators in Calgary have a home. Innovation has a front door right behind me for the first time. This is more than a building. This is a community, and I want to recognize some members of the community that are here today. Flamingo, the founders of Flamingo, Summit Nanotech, Cost Certified, and Pay Shepherd are all local tech companies that are part of this community that are in the crowd today. Give a wave. And who have been part of this amazing ecosystem that supports each other. We're taking that to the next level with this building that is more than a building. It's a place. It's programs. Wherever you are in your journey as a tech founder, whether you're just starting out, you've quit your job and you're starting the thing, or you're ready to grow, something here will be there for you. The only way we could do that is with partners. So we've actually, this community at this point is over 60 community partners. That includes, there will be a hub for investors. There will be a hub for corporate innovators. There will be many training opportunities. There will be peer-to-peer groups where people can support each other. And now we also are super excited to bring global connectivity and expertise through our partnership with Plug and Play, thanks to OCIF. Our goal here is huge. In Alberta, we're all rowing together to triple the size in Calgary, to triple the size of our tech sector. We need to do that. We need a 10x increase in the rate of startup creation and growth. And we've got all of the ingredients in this place to be able to do it. The other reason why I'm very excited today, and I want to give a special welcome to our friends from Innovate Edmonton who are here. Together, we submitted a proposal into the RFP process that Alberta Innovates put out with a vision for a province-wide pre-accelerator program so that in any place in Alberta, you will have access to the best resources that you to get started on your journey. We're very excited to have launched the Alberta Pre-Accelerator and have a naming competition out in the market right now. But that Pre-Accelerator is going to add even more people to the pool that might be able to apply to Plug and Play and other accelerators that have come to Alberta. So that's the promise that we have now here in Calgary. We have a front door for innovation. We have a place where anyone can walk through and get the support they need from Calgary and from the world. Welcome, Plug and Play. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very, very much, Terry, and thank you for being host today. That concludes the remarks from our speakers. We now have time to take questions from the media. We have journalists both here in person and online. Just a reminder for the reporters online, you can submit your questions to the speakers through the chat function. I'm happy to read those, obviously, but please identify the person that you're targeting your question to, along with the name and your organization as well. So if there's anyone in the room that would like to start us off, you're more than welcome to do that now. There's microphones up here at the front.
Hi, Chris Farco with the Calgary Herald. This is a question for Mark. Mark, can you talk about the size of the investment that's being made here, and what are the actual deliverables? What are your expectations of the number of companies, the amount of investment, the amount of jobs in return for the investment you're making?
Thanks so much for the question. So as Saeed mentioned, they have cohort-based programming. In the first phase of the program, they're launching a health, a sustainable energy, and a general program that they're going to be running cohorts starting early next year. As part of that, there'll be 80 companies that get accelerated as part of the program, and the milestones associated with that are what OCIF and the provincial government and Prairie Can are coming together for. From a jobs perspective, I think that you can see from the range of companies that they've invested in the past, I think as they make investments in 80 of these companies, we will look to see kind of the progressive nature of how those companies scale and grow, but there aren't specific job targets or estimations that we have from that, but we have very good indications from the track record of what Plug and Play has executed in the past to know what that trajectory will look like down in the future. Yeah.
Chris, do you have a follow-up question? Or?
You can go ahead.
Okay, there's not one online yet, so the floor's all yours.
Just a question for Syed. You mentioned the fact that you've decided to expand some of your offerings here in the city. Can you be a little more specific on why you've decided to do that, where you see the opportunities, and the timeline going forward?
When we arrive in a city like Tokyo or even Munich, Germany, we usually go there because of an invitation of a corporate partner, or in this case, Calgary government and organization. But then when we see the capability, like in Munich, we originally started in health with Roche, then Allianz and Munich Re and other insurance company like Generali asked us to open an insurtech vertical. And then finally, the two biggest retailers in Germany, Schwarz Group, that has Lidl, and Media Saturn, asked us to open an innovation platform for brand and retail. So in less than 48 hours that I have been here, I realized that there is incredible talent that I met. We have had group interviews of approximately 20 people, and the potential here to not only work as a hub for innovation in Calgary, but also to support our effort in Silicon Valley was great. So I would like to, other than the 3 initiatives that we got funding for, I would like to have sort of what I call mirror teams here. From here, sustainability is my second name or my nickname. So I would like to have a large group of colleagues here who would support sustainability. We are working with Alliance to End Plastic Waste with the top 50 corporations in the world. And I feel we even though Alliance to End Plastic Waste was not part of the criteria, but I think we could have a great team here supporting that, not only for US but globally. So again, I always am super optimistic. So we're going to launch with the 3 vertical, I believe, in February. But before long, I believe we will have at least 2 more running here and in Edmonton. Thank you.
Very much, Saeed. Are there any other questions in the room? It doesn't look as though that's the case. So there's no questions online, so we'll take this opportunity to wrap things up. On behalf of Calgary Economic Development and the OCIF team, I'd like to take a moment to thank our partners as well. I know it's been said a number of times, but it can't be said enough. Technology in Calgary and Alberta benefits greatly from the continued collaboration between partners across all orders of government and the private sector. These include Alberta Innovates, the Ministry of Jobs, Economic and Innovation, Prairies Economic Development Canada, or Prairies Can, Platform Calgary, of course, and our friends up the number 2 highway at Edmonton Global and Edmonton Innovates. There's a lot, or Innovate Edmonton, sorry. There's a lot going on, and we're in market right now over in Europe, collectively between Edmonton and Calgary, doing wonderful things at the Web Summit in Lisbon, Smart Cities in the Middle East. So together we're going out, knocking on doors, and hopefully bringing some of those companies back to Calgary and Alberta and Edmonton across the board. So thank you very much for participating today, and we'll hope to see you again for another announcement. Bye for now.